Hey, gang, there are so many important issues to discuss in today's political, cultural, and economic climate, and I can't discuss them all here. In fact, YouTube and big tech won't let me talk about it all here. And that's why I have exclusive, uncensored live streams on Monday nights to cover everything. On Monday nights, I share all my thoughts and answer your questions in an in-depth, casual format that prepares you for this upcoming election with the truth. Today, I want to show you a quick clip from a recent stream that I hope will help you think clearly about these important issues, as well as encourage you to join our movement. Join an upcoming exclusive live stream, and I'll answer your questions by clicking the link in the description below and joining our community of courageous patriots building a parallel economy. I look forward to seeing you over there.
So I want to bring this up because I see questions about it, and I can play a clip here in a second about something that Trump said over the weekend. It has really questioned a lot of people's perspective on how he sees pro-life issues. I can play that clip if that would be helpful, just to get some perspective.
Do you want to go ahead and play the clip?
Yeah, let me.
And I want to give voters who are going to be weighing in on this election a very clear sense of where you stand on this.
I think they're all going to like me. I think both sides are going to like me.
What's going
to have to happen is you're going to have to
this question.
Listen,
please.
You're asking me a question. What's going to happen is you're going to come up with a number of weeks or months. You're going to come up with a number that's going to make people happy, because 92% of the Democrats don't want to see abortion after a certain period of time.
If a federal ban landed on your desk, if you were reelected, would you sign it at 15
Are you talking about a complete ban?
A ban at 15 weeks?
Well, people are starting to think of 15 weeks. That seems to be a number that people are talking about right now.
Would you sign that?
I would sit down with both sides and I'd negotiate something, and we'll end up with peace on that issue for the first time in 52 years. I'm not going to say I would or I wouldn't. I mean, DeSantis is willing to sign a 5-week and 6-week ban.
Would you support that? You think that
I think what he did is a terrible thing and a terrible mistake.
So is it a terrible thing and a terrible mistake? Or are we misunderstanding what he's trying to say here?
But first, gang, let me ask you, are you ultra MAGA? Do you want to show your patriotism as a card-carrying Trump supporter? Well, then before you do anything else, you've got to click on the link below and get your very own collectible Trump cards. Gang, these are amazing. Patriots played their anti-globalist Trump card against the left in 2016, and we're getting ready to play it again in 2024. And what better way to show your support for Trump's re-election than with these amazing collectible pieces of Trump art? These cards have a limited supply, so don't wait. Only 2,500 sets of these have been made, and they're going to come with a certificate of authenticity verifying you own an original set. These make great gifts for any MAGA patriot in your life, and if you buy 2 sets, you also get a bonus gold Trump 2024 card absolutely free. These physical cards are high quality, they're made in America, they're highly collectible, but again, there's only a limited supply, so don't wait. By the time you remember, they're likely to be gone. So click the link below right now and get your Trump cards today. For me, we have to rewind this several steps. That man that you just saw, more than anyone else, when all said and done, is responsible for obliterating Roe v. Wade. That has been the goal of every pro-lifer for 40 years, ever since that monstrosity of a decision was handed down. And the precision and the expertise by which Sam Alito dismantled the absurdity of that ruling was so brilliant. And it goes down. We actually have in the classical school that I taught at for 18 years, the kids read that decision. I think it's a 90-page decision, the Dobbs decision, because it was just so masterfully brilliant in the way it analyzes whether or not an issue is constitutional. And as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, abortion rights are not in the federal Constitution. So so by definition, then they decide it at the state level. Now, what we ultimately want is to have a spiritual maturity a population spiritually mature enough to recognize the evils of abortion. That's where I come from, without question. I think if our population is spiritually mature enough, they will recognize that this is not a practice that any healthy society will be pushing. But what Trump did was he effectively removed the abortion issue from the Constitution. It's no longer a constitutional right, and liberals know that. So now what liberals are trying to do, and that's the thing, it's liberals who are trying to do it more than anyone. Now what liberals are trying to do is they're trying to force Republicans' hand to say, so you want to ban abortion across the board federally from the top down. I don't even know if that would pass judicial muster, because the court just said that the federal government does not have the right to superimpose any particular view of abortion on the rest of the nation because it's not part of its constitutional powers. Abortion isn't there. They'd have to pass a constitutional amendment. And I just don't think we're there. I think we're so far gone as a nation civilizationally that it's going to take a long time before we have that kind of spiritual maturity. So what is he doing? He's navigating. He does what Trump does very well when he needs to do it. And he comes out and he says, look, I'm looking at the polls. 80% of the population would sign on to a 15-week ban, which was the Dobbs Mississippi bill provision. They would sign on to that ban. He didn't like DeSantis because DeSantis went even further in Florida. DeSantis went further than Mississippi. And he's seen the polls and he's like, we got to be careful. Now you might say, oh, but he's looking at the polls. He's looking at the polls. Don't lose sight that he's the one who got rid of Roe v. Wade. Don't lose sight of that. All right. So for me, it's almost absurd to even be arguing this with him. He was unwavering with that in the debates. Yeah. If I put pro-life judges on there, yeah, they'll probably get rid of Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade sucks. Let's bring it back to the states. And so that's where we are right now. I think he wants to keep this as much a state-oriented issue as possible. And that's, again, in politics, that's where we are. Is that the right place for us to be? No. Morally, ultimately, no. But we're not there yet. So given that political realism, what's the best approach? Well, he knows 80, 90%, and he's right, 80, 90% of the population would love to see a ban after 15 weeks. That's what they'd love to do. That's what you tend to see in Europe, by the way, all throughout the entire continent. They do not like second or third trimester abortions. They find that repulsive. And even RFK is signing on to that as well. So we're starting to see a consensus emerge where 2/3 of the pregnancy process can be thoroughly pro-life. So if that's where we can go, and that's what we can get at this point, that's where he's coming from, then let's do that. Let's not fall for the Democrat trap. You want to get rid of all abortions, don't you? In a population that's so confused on this issue.
In the discussion on Friday night, he actually addressed this. And he said multiple times, I see this just as Reagan saw it, that abortion is wrong, except for incest.
The exception clause.
The exceptions. He said, I feel it in my gut. This is right. I'm going by my gut here. And he said it multiple times. Yeah. So I know what he said. I believe that he's speaking truth there. And so this, I think, is taken out of context and people are really trying to corner him.
Yeah, well, it's DeSantis is trying to. DeSantis is like, hey, I'm your real pro-life guy. This is the man who got rid of Roe v. Wade. We cannot ever forget that. If we forget that, shame on us. Yeah. Seriously, shame on us. That is a despicable reaction to 40 years of activism. I hope you enjoyed that clip of my Monday night Insiders Club live stream. Join us live next week by clicking on the link in the description below and joining the coalition of patriots worldwide building a parallel economy to return to our roots of faith, family, and freedom. Click below right now.